Smartphone reviews are objective looks at smartphones to see if they're worth buying, and there shouldn't really ideally be any emotion involved when giving a verdict or a review of a smartphone. And the people who ideally will be watching a review are the people who are interested in buying that product, potentially buying that product, and they want to weigh up their options, want to see if it's any good, if it fits their needs, or maybe there's a device out there that's better. And this goes for all reviews, not just smartphone ones. But that's not really been the case since online reviews started becoming a thing. Reviews have been a thing for decades and decades, but recently in the online age it becomes really easy to just sift through reviews, or maybe you'll stick a playlist on YouTube and just watch through them. It's really easy to go through lots of reviews of the same product. And so because these reviews are really easy to come by, it seems to be these days that a lot of the people who are actually watching the reviews are ones who have gone out, bought a product, come back, and they're just looking for a confirmation of their purchase. They're looking to see if they've made the right decision, and they want a little virtual pat on the back to say, yeah, you made the right decision in buying the product. And that, I suppose, is kind of understandable, because buying technology in smartphones can be really expensive, and it's a daunting thing for me, just like hitting the buy button on like £100 phone. That's £100 I'll probably never see again. See what I mean? So when people go out and buy smartphones at upwards of £600-700, they want to know they've made the right decision, because again, it can be daunting. And you can always tell when these guys have watched a review by looking at the like to dislike ratio. Maybe I will throw a few up on screen right now to show you, but you can always tell when it's a negative review. A negative review is typically the same kind of content as a positive review, just with a different verdict at the end, or maybe some parts are a little bit more negative and then positive reviews, some parts are more positive. That's kind of naturally how they go. So the content being exactly the same should mean there should be the same amount of dislikes and likes on both ends of the spectrum, because the people who are watching the review aren't the manufacturers, so I doubt they're going to take offense. If the manufacturers came along and watched the reviews and they got a negative review on their device that they'd spent a lot of time making, then it would be understandable that they'd hit the dislike button. But between fanboys and people who have gone out and bought a product and they've spotted a negative review, you can always tell when they are the owners of the product, because they will put usually quite a hateful, maybe even sometimes a personally attacking comment in the comment section, and then they'll smash the dislike button. And like small children, they kind of act like when a kid gets a toy taken away from them, they just get really angry. I'm gonna hit the dislike button and say he's got a funny looking nose. And that sends mixed messages to reviewers like me. So I've been doing this for a fair few years now, and you can always tell when it's that and not necessarily the content. Like, don't get me wrong, there have been some reviews that I've put out that haven't been amazing right at the start, and they haven't looked at the right areas, and they may have judged it a little bit poorly. And that, when you get dislikes, it's kind of understandable, because the content's just not very good. But more recently, I've had a lot of experience in this field. I'll just give a negative kind of, this part of the phone's not very good, or this part of the phone, this other phone does better. And when someone hits the dislike button, it's not really useful, because it doesn't tell me the content's bad, it just tells me that you're kind of a whinging little sod. But at the same time, the dislikes don't affect views. So I think maybe some of the spite that comes from this are people who just don't want that YouTuber to do well, and so they hit the dislike and they're like, yeah, screw you, mate. When in actual fact, it still counts as an interaction, so it's going to rank just as highly as something that's got lots and lots of views, or lots and lots of likes. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't make much difference. But this can be disheartening to people who aren't like me and haven't had a lot of experience and aren't used to this kind of thing. For smaller creators who are legitimately just giving a review of a device that's not very good, they'll see dislikes and they'll think, damn, I think I need to make lots of positive reviews, and regardless of if the phone's good or not. And that can lead to a lot of false reviews and false information out there, and that means that people off that review will go and buy that product and then feel really disappointed when it doesn't do quite what the review said it would. And so you can see that just out of this kind of selfish, kind of childish kind of behaviour, it can lead to something that ends up putting someone's money at risk almost. Like that, they're spending £600-700 on a phone and it's not doing what they thought it would. And of course, this is quite a niche outcome. This just rarely happens, but at the same time, having those fanboys in the community, and there are fanboys in every single community, but the smartphone community is probably the one I'm most part of, so obviously I get the brunt of that. And you'll notice a lot of small creators will put out really positive reviews. I'm not that kind of person. I know I'm a small creator, but you know, it's something I've done for many, many years. And I'm not afraid to put out, like, you know, to say that a product's bad, or to say that one part of a product's bad, or that another product does better. And I feel like a lot of smaller creators are so scared to do that. They're worried they might not get any interaction with that product or from that company ever again. And yeah, I kind of get that, but at the same time, you know, you gotta value your own opinion. You've got to keep your integrity. Anyway, that's the end of my notes. I just wanted to have this little conversation with you because I've seen this a lot recently, and I know it's not going to get better, but I think for those of you out there who may be a little bit confused, it would be useful information to you. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Ryan Thomas. Please do like, dislike, comment and subscribe to never miss a video like this one. And also check out all the social media links that I'll leave in the video description. I am most active on Twitter at the moment. Also, I want to give a massive shout out to my patrons for your continued support. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.